Hello guys, KP Shamino here with a new video for Call of the Wild The Angler. And in this video I'm going to talk about the dev stream that is just finished. So people could ask questions and the developers answered. And I got a lot of information. A lot of information about the game mechanics too, because there was finally a gameplay designer, so one of the developers that is making the game. And there were between the lines some things that I didn't know, but that we know now for sure. There were some things that they said that were a little bit disappointed for me, but it's how it is. I will explain myself a little bit later. I made a text file, but first I'm going to start with this sucker. So yesterday I made a video, and I'm still fishing here the entire day, so I got a couple of golds on that video is spot, but there was a guy that posted under that video that he got a diamond here too. I'm not sure that it's for real, because I don't have a picture or something like that, but I believe most of the time the people, he can be trolling me too. But for the people that don't know it, I was standing here in the video, just check it out. I just want to say that I'm getting the gold here. It's very slow, I need to say it, but if that guy really got a diamond here, maybe some more people can test this spot. But back to the video. So I'm going to get my text file up, and I'm going to show you guys this. So let's have a look to this. So you guys can see there was a lot of information. I put it all in a text file. So in total we had 16 or 17 questions. I'm not going to talk about them all. So you always need to listen very good to developers. They are not always saying we never going to work on it, but they are probably saying it will take some years. So if I put this behind it, don't think at the moment that means they are not working at it, because they always say we are thinking about it, but most of the time that means that they are not going to implement it, or that it's going to take a lot of years. And therefore I will put always this behind it. This you will see a lot, so you can think by yourself, okay, that's not for the near future, it's possible not for this year or next year. Always remember that. Because they talk a little bit like politics. So they are not saying yes or no. It's always something in between, but you need to understand how they say it. That's what I want to say. So let's get started. So question number one, a very simple question. Striped bass, is it coming to the game? They are thinking about it. So there is a possibility, but at the moment there are no plans. It was not a yes or a no. That's all what I can say. But they are thinking about it. I would like striped bass. But like I said, not a yes, not a no. They are probably not working on it. It's just like an answer they give. A polite answer, but at the moment it's not being made. Then the next one, that was very interesting. So the problem that I thought that this game had, because they set it in a stream with Big Fish, that is because they cannot implement it in the engine. And that's always a problem if non-developer people are talking about that. Therefore I was really happy that there was once a developer here. So I always thought the engine is not allowing that, but then today they set it a little bit around. That's not a problem. There is no technical limitation on the engine for Big Fish. But what is most of the time the problem, that is that they don't have the equipment to catch that fish. So that's a total different story. I set it somewhere too, I think a couple of years ago, because I didn't understand it. They got more than enough room. This is a fishing game that got probably the most size in every area, so I couldn't understand why it is not possible. So it's just a limitation on the gear, and that's something that I can understand. If you put a fish in that is 80 kilograms and you don't have the gear, nobody can land it. And the problem is too, you cannot move here with the fish. You cannot go behind the fish, so that is limiting the fight a lot too. So they need to make gear that always can catch the fish if you're stationary. And that is limiting the game a lot. So there is no limitation on the engine. It's most of the time just the gear that cannot land the fish. So that's really good. That's so spread the word. Vivi said it, spread the word. So be sure that you, from now on, guys, remember that. Another very interesting thing, that's something that Gas said. The new map, he said it will be before next year. So that means it will be this year. But it's only 4 months to go this year. So we are going to get this year a new map. My expectations are November, maybe December. I'm not sure that they are going to bring it in the Christmas event. So it's not that long anymore. A couple of months and we are going to get a new map. Then the next question. So the ocean fishing, thinking about it. So at the moment, no. Take it from me. There are too many things that they still need to, not fix in this game, but bring to this game. Ocean fishing at the moment, I think it will be not one, but 2 bridges too far. Ocean fishing is a total different setting. I saw it in the other fishing games that got ocean fishing. It takes years to make. Because the fish is stronger, you got waves that are different and all that stuff. So this is, don't think at the moment. So don't think that ocean fishing is coming in this year or next year. It will take a longer time. Then the next one, and this was a little bit, I need to say, disappointed for me. So there was a guy that asked, do we get a more new realistic game mode? So they didn't say yes or no. But what they said is this. So this is what they said. The right words. In depth if it is accessible for most players. So that means they will keep bringing realistic stuff to the game like they do now. If they bring something, it will be 10, 20, 30% from how it will behave realistically. And it will never change. So I'm not expecting the things that I ask for that it will ever come to this game. Because you need to understand the player base for this game is very casual. I saw it yesterday on the Discord too. So there is a new event. So you need to go to a certain island. It's marked on the map. You just need to catch fish. That was a little bit harder. And then you need to grill it. And there are so many people so confused. I was really amazed by it. So they didn't understand what was happening. And that's, I think, the player base for this game. So I don't think that it will ever come. More realistic to point fishing mechanics. That poppers will pop. That jerkbaits make the behavior of a jerkbait, that braid line, that you can stack 200 meter of braid line on your line, that low level setups can land big fish, that's not coming. I don't think so. If they want to make it accessible for most players, I don't think it will come. It's a pity, but it's how they want to run the game. I can understand it, but I think if the game needs to grow a little bit more, I think they need to bring that. But we will see how it goes. If they are happy at the moment with the player base, they don't need to do anything and just keep going how they do it at the moment. But that's the only thing that I can say about that. So in depth, if it is accessible for most players. Then the next one, and that's really cool. So the rod holders images soon is. So we got rod holder images, and you can fish with more than one rod, and that makes me really happy. So I will show you guys it really quick. So I'm going to put it on because I got it here in an image. So let's do this, and let's put this off. So you can see it here. So these are the rod holders. So they showed it. So you got 2 rods that you can use. I don't see bells, but I already am very happy that you can put 2 rods here. So that's not bad. So I'm going to put my I'm going to put my text file back on. So let's have a look. Here we go. So the rod holders are coming. That's very good. Then the next one, sonar. Don't think at the moment. Once again, no. It's something they are thinking about it and it's a cool feature. But at the moment, it's they are not going to work on it. So something, once again, next year, in a couple of years, maybe never. That's what I want to say. But then the game developer said something very interesting, because I always listen what those guys are saying, because I want to know mechanics. And this is what he said. So I copied it right away, or I just listened to him and I just write down what he said. Fish are in the water swimming. They don't random generate on your hook after some time. So that's very interesting. So the fish... what I cannot understand is how... So it's not going to say how the spawn system works, because there is no fish coming. That's something that you can see really good. So I did once 2 hours with the ground bait just in front of my feet with the light on. And at the night, and you see always 10-15 fish, but you see new fish coming too. And then suddenly there is gold. But what he's saying is that the fish is already in the water. When no fish is spawning in, I don't know. But it's not generated on your hook. So I'm fishing now for some time. So I think moving around is very important in this game. Because if the fish is on the other side of the water, you're not going to catch it. So this is very good information. So that's something that I want to share with you guys too. Then the next one, once again, something that a lot of people ask, and I always need to laugh with this, because I think that a lot of people don't understand how difficult fly fishing is if it is well executed. If you just put a fly on a rod and you throw it in the water, that's not fly fishing. Fly fishing is not in the top fishing games. Why it's not in the top fishing games? For the reason what they said here. So I don't think it will come in the near future. It's way too complicated. It's very complicated, because that's what they said. It's very complicated. So I don't think it will come. So it looks very easy, but it's not very easy. If you do it right, the fly fishing with the swinging and all that stuff, and the fly need to get drier and all that stuff, need to go on the surface, the fish need to catch on the surface. If you need to do it right, it's a very complicated, because everything need to work on that. If you move your line, everything around you need to work with your line, and that makes it very complicated. We only see the line moving, but the developers need to, everything that interact with the line, and that are a lot of things in fishing, need to interact the right way, and that's a lot of work. So therefore I don't think that it's for the near future or ever. If I see the other fishing games that are already around for 10 years and they not even got fly fishing, I don't think it will come. Then the next one, and this is a good one too. So visibility of the fish before they bite. So at the moment, I think that's a problem too. You see the fish coming from like 1 kilometer away. You see like 10 fish coming to your bait. There is no thrill. You see, okay, this is this fish that we are going to catch. Sometimes it's cool. I think they can keep it for very small fish. But for the bigger fish, if you see a diamond pike coming to your minnow or something, that's not fun, you know. Okay, he's there. There is a diamond pike. No, but they are working on it. So they are going to fix that. That's something at the moment that they are working on it. So I'm not sure what they are going to do, but the visibility that the fish comes to a bait, they are going to work on it to do it. Then the next one, once again, weather, very complicated. So that's a question, and that's something that Guess said, and that was very interesting for me. So he not only said that weather is very complicated, but it's influencing the bite and the spawn rate too. And that's something that is very interesting. So yeah, that's for me. I'm not sure what I need to think about it. So is there at the moment a system too that let the fish spawn or not? I would not think it at the moment. So if he said weather is going to influence the spawn and all that stuff. So I know a lot of people are working with the temperature. I always thought that's bullshit. And what Gaz is saying is that at the moment temperature is not working. Because if they introduce weather, that's going to influence the bite and the spawn. So at the moment it's not influenced by anything related to weather. That's what I think he was saying. So you guys can listen. You can say to me what you think about it. But that's what I thought always too. I did testing with temperature. The temperature is always jumping around. I never see the temperature going with the day. So you can have 10 Celsius at 5 a.m. You can have 15 at 6 a.m. and 10 at 10 again. So what I saw was that they just put the temperature on a certain rank fish. So a gold is that range, a diamond is that range. But it's not the temperature that is spawning the fish. It's just the fish that is sitting in the spawn box over there. And they just put the temperature on the catch screen. But there is no temperature in the game. That's what I always thought. And Gaz is saying that a little bit too, I think. So not at the moment. Probably not for this year and next year. Then the next one, that's one that I always asked. Move with rods, very complicated, they said. I don't think it's going to come in the near future. I didn't realize how complicated this was until he said it, but I understand what he was saying, because you need to understand, if I'm not mistaken, Fishing Planet didn't have that either, moving. I think the first couple of years it was not in Fishing Planet either. I can be wrong, because it's already a long time ago. And I always thought why it's so complicated. It's just the same problem like fly fishing. The problem is, Gaz said it like this, so everything needs to interact. So if you start moving, your line is moving, your bobber is moving, everything is moving, and everything around it needs to interact with your line. And that's of course true. And that's not easy. So it's a little bit the same problem than with fly fishing. Then the next one. This is coming, guys. Color variation was a question. So what does that mean? At the moment, we don't have color variation. So every fish looks the same. It's just a little bit bigger. I like this a lot. So I think they said they got it in the Hunter, Call of the Wild the Hunter. They said the color variation is there. They are working on this. So this will come to the game. I like that a lot. So the bigger fish will have other colors than the juveniles. And that's something that I like. And then it was one question. So it was color variation and are we going to get the trophy lodge? They first want to work on the color variation. But then they said not a yes or a no. So I don't think in the near future that we are going to get the trophy lodge. I don't think that we ever going to get the trophy lodge, because he talked a lot about an aquarium. But it's not for soon. The color variation is coming. They are working on it, but the trophy lodge, yeah, don't think so. You guys already know it. Competitions with more settings. They are probably going to do that. And then they showed a net image too. From a net. I already told it. I already saw it previous week. So we are going to use a net to get the fish. Immersion wise, that's good. So that's the info that I can give you guys. So it was a lot of info. Between the lines, I read a lot of info about stuff that is in the game. There were some things that I thought, yeah, that's a pity that it's not coming. Yeah, that was it for the video. I'm thinking about something. Do I need to say anything more? No. So that was it for the video, guys. I hope that you enjoyed the video. I see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.